Welcome to Malcom Reed's How to Barbecue Right, a podcast where we talk about barbecue, share recipes, and discuss all things delicious. And now, here's your host, Malcom and Rachelle Reed.
Hey, welcome back to the How to Barbecue Right Podcast. I'm your host, Malcom Reed, joined by my lovely and talented wife, Miss Southern Shell's been busy moving stuff all week. Getting the Gator video out.
Ooh, that Gator video.
Was that a job?
It was a job.
So
we had multiple cameras, multiple audios.
We're a day late on our podcast because we've had, a lot of stuff going on, a lot of moving parts. This is the last time that you will see us in this podcast setup. We've talked about it on here before, but we've got us a new spot across town that we're moving to, and we're setting up a new podcast studio, and we hope it works as good as this one. So far, so good. It looks good. Now you got to decorate your favorite part.
Yeah, I feel very overwhelmed.
My part's going to be moving all this stuff, and I was sitting here looking at it, at these mics and cords and computers, and it seems like we've got extra computers today. I guess our internet's down, so I'm having to work off the hotspot. But we're making it work. We don't have a printer here, so you couldn't print the notes. So is that why you got multiple computers going?
One of the reasons. I just like having multiple computers around it.
Well, we get to move all this stuff today. As soon as we get through. Are you going to try to load the podcast up before we start breaking it down? Or
I guess we got to.
You can wait and load it up over at the new places. I got the internet now.
I got to do that. We don't have internet here. They shut the internet off.
I moved services.
So let's talk about the Gator. We talked about it. We had Craig on last week.
Barbecue Ninja.
And we talked to him on the podcast, but this is the first time we had filmed the recipe and then came over here and immediately did the podcast. So we hadn't had a chance to edit and put it together and see the actual recipe.
The footage. So I don't know how much. I know when you first got it, how much footage did we record total? Did you even look at that for that video? We had two
when
cameras.
I laid it out,
three cameras.
Yeah, we had multiple cameras, multiple audios. When I laid it all out, it was over an hour and a half worth of footage.
But you probably have way more than that. That's just
that's double, because that was taking the two footages and putting them on top of each other, so we recorded over 4 hours probably worth of footage if you count it all individually
and double audio files. So you got all that laid out, and it took a while to
whittle it.
The process on that one, post-production on that one was a while, and we knew that going in. That's why we didn't release that video last week, because it just takes extra time. We shot it on Tuesday when Craig came. I think it was Tuesday. And to release that on a Thursday would have been near impossible. It was just all you could do to get it, get it all loaded into iMovie on that time.
I'm happy. I always find stuff that I feel like I could do better. With the
I thought it turned out fantastic. I mean, the Gator itself,
it was interesting.
Yeah, I learned how to cook a Gator. I'll say that.
That was one of my questions. What did you learn?
I learned if I ever come across one, we cross paths, I know how to cook him. Now, I ain't going to say I know. I can probably get his hide off of him, get the guts out and all that stuff.
You think so?
Yeah. I mean, that ain't nothing to it.
I imagine taking the hide off a Gator is difficult.
Where he was shot in the old head? I'd put a spike right through that and hang him up and do like a catfish. Give me some pliers, ring him around his neck, around his feet, and just go to jerking that hide off. That's how I'd do it. I don't know. I mean, Craig ain't showed me that trick yet. But how you actually clean one. Because, he does that. He goes out and catches them. Mm-hmm. They call it gator hunting, but really they take fishing poles. And they got these big hooks, and they'll go out at night. It's always at night. I don't know why. I guess gators are more active at night. But I
guess you can see.
You can't just shoot them. You can't just go out hunting them like we hunt deer or rabbit or turkey or something like that. You're calling a gator up. You go out with lights and a boat with thousands and thousands. I'll never do this, by the way, because of the bugs.
Yeah.
Could you imagine being out?
Because of the bugs. It's not the danger.
The alligator don't scare me at all. It's them taking malaria, yellow fever carrying mosquitoes, West Nile.
Particularly,
they're attracted to me. I'm ate up right now. First football practice, I got ate alive the other night. But so you don't ever have to worry about me going gator hunting. I'll come in the next morning when they go get one and bring it back, and we learn how to clean it up and cook it and all. That's great. But as far as going and getting one, no, that ain't me. This thing eats you alive out there. I've seen videos of people doing it. It's just they turn the lights on. It's just swarms Well, they're in the daggum swamp.
Yeah.
What do you think? So what they do, they get in a boat. It's usually 3 or 4 of them in a boat. Imagine a cooler full of beer. I don't know.
Yeah, you got to.
Lights, fishing poles. They usually probably bring one gun. That's how they dispatch the gator. But in Mississippi, you're actually gator fishing. Well, gator snagging is what they ought to call it. Because you don't set poles like you see on swamp people where they set all the cane poles up and tie the tree up, and then they dangle the bait and the gator comes and eats it. This isn't like that. They go out with lights and you can see them swimming across the water. You know where they are. And then they try to sneak up on him and cast these big fishing poles at them and snag them. And they'll get one big hook in them. And then they'll try to fight that gator. This goes on for hours. It ain't like you just go out there and get one and reel it in like catfish or something.
Yeah.
This goes on for hours. They end up with trying to get multiple hooks in them because, you're trying to secure him. They get them up close to the boat. And when you actually physically have the gator, like it's done. Craig described it as they pretty much tire themselves out like fighting a big fish.
Yeah.
And they tire themselves out. They're, it's just like reeling dead weight at that point. But it's still alive. It can bite your arm off at that point. But they get it up close to the boat, and then you can take a rifle, and you got a sweet spot on the head, like they show on the TV show. You have to dispatch the gator, and then you can pull it up in the boat and all that. And I asked Greg, he said, there ain't no way we don't put those big ones in the boats because sometimes the boats they're in, the gator's bigger than the boat.
Yeah.
They're out there in John boats. It's not like you're out there.
He said it was a 19-footer.
Well, yeah, the gators could get up to 20.
No, I'm talking about
the boat. That's what I'm saying.
I guess okay.
Yeah. But, they're usually typical gator size, probably 30. I don't know what the record is in Mississippi. It might be 13 or 14 or something.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any 20-footers.
That's a big gator.
But still, wrestling that dude up with 4 men in the boat with you, what they do is they kind of tie it up on the side of the boat, and then they'll boat back to the ramp or wherever they put it in.
That seems safer.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it up in there with me either.
I always thought on swamp creatures or swamp people.
Yeah.
There was one guy that would actually duct tape the gator's mouth up. And I'm like, that just seems like a good
Pretty
move.
smart move, yeah. Pretty smart move there.
You never know.
That wasn't Willie. He just loads them up. Right. And they always make a big deal on that show about loading that gator up and how big it is. And they're rolling it up in there. But, you'll get one guy like Willie and he can load them by himself.
Yeah.
It must not be, I don't know. I don't know if I can load one or not. We ain't going to find out because I ain't going to be out there trying to get one. But cooking a gator now, I can do that.
The comments that people left on this video were my favorite of all the comments ever.
It's hilarious. I've had more people. I didn't know people were so attached to alligators, man.
No kidding.
These things are just some swamp beasts. They're like these cute little cuddly alligators. I can't believe you cooked one.
People were.
You think it's because it had the head still on it?
No, people.
It would have just been the tail.
Upset. Yeah. Oh, if it would have just been meat sitting there, people wouldn't have cared.
Yeah.
It's like.
So if I did a rabbit and left his head on, they probably wouldn't dig that too much, would they?
But people were more upset about the gators than they were the suckling pigs.
I know. That was what you think it's because maybe more people are seeing it. I don't know. But man, the comment, if you hadn't read the comment, now we don't, I don't read all of them.
Let me tell you what the comments
I get so stressed out. Like, man, these people hate me. Man, why are they watching?
No, they don't. The comments were, they loved it. Some people loved it. Or they said, this isn't for me, but I found the video interesting.
I agree.
Yeah.
Let's learn something. If I ever cook one, I'll probably be okay.
Yeah.
I'm not going to run out. Just try to.
But either people, they loved it. Some folks said, I'm going to pass on the gator, And then there was people that were saying that it was cruel to animals. You had that group. And then you had people that said, this is disgusting. I'm going to quit following you now.
Really?
And you know what I say to those people?
Yeah, kick rocks.
Yeah, ride or die.
Ride or die. Yeah, that's right. Ride or die.
That's fine. We got rid of some weight there.
Yeah, that's man.
But I don't understand the animal cruelty people. These were lizards.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
If we'd have taken a grizzly bear or something, I get it.
Cook the whole grizzly bear like we do a pig.
Yeah, somebody said alligators are our friends. Why are you doing this? I'm like, are they?
Yeah, are they? I don't think so. I don't live where they live. I know some Louisiana folks and Mississippi folks. They got gators and. They don't come up like to the back porch and just hang out with you.
No.
I don't know. I didn't get that. Hey.
I
thought it was very cool. I was glad to try it. I'm glad I learned something from Craig. And he cooks a lot of them. And yeah, I mean, this is like one of those showmanship things.
Oh yeah,
you know,
definitely.
if you're cooking a gator like that, you're not cooking that because it's great to eat.
Yeah,
but it's just because it's something totally different. Yeah, you can eat it and it's pretty good. I mean, it wasn't fishy. There was nothing fishy about it. The meat was very kind of neutral.
it was bland and it was a little dry.
Yeah. I mean,
I imagine that.
Yeah, it tastes like a wild turkey taste to me or something like that. It was just, I mean, that's the flavor it had. It wasn't the best eating thing you've ever had, but it was no way bad. I mean, was it as good as a pork loin? No. I mean, you could, I mean, I loved the stuffing. The stuffing was fantastic.
I think that kind of made it.
Yeah. I mean, I could see if you had to live off of it, you could cook a gator and that'd be a fantastic way to do it. And you got a ton of flavor on it from all the seasoning and the brine and the sauce caramelized on, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I would. You ain't gonna see me with a big torch. What I call it, Cajun brulee.
Yeah.
I won't be doing that. I'm not a flamethrower kind of guy.
Yeah, but Craig.
That's Craig's thing, man. Yeah. He's a showman. He loves doing that. He does a chicken wing. He does this flamethrower chicken wing thing that he smokes the wings and then puts them in a sauce and does the same thing. And just does a ton of them all at once. And it's a big, people gather around and watch the flamethrower.
Yeah. And see, that's what Craig does. He does festivals, and his job is to do something different.
To draw in the crowd, to get people's attention, to serve them something they've never had. And I get it,
And it was the way that he did the gator, I thought was really, really smart because he used the stuffing, and it gave the gator more flavor, and he put it in this roll, and it was... You weren't just eating a piece of gator. Yeah. You had a roll and a stuffing and a gator and some sauce.
So it made this complete dish a way to serve.
Yeah.
And I can see that, if you could serve it different kinds of way. You can make a gator sandwich with it. I mean, it would have been good with the slaw, like a swamp slaw.
Slaw, yeah.
You could have done that with it easy. And then chopped it up that way. I mean, you could see the pieces he pulled out. They were sliceable. The little the tenderloins that were in it could have been sliced because it was a lot like a piece of a piece of pork loin or pork tenderloin or something. So the leg meat was like dark meat turkey, and I wasn't crazy about it. The jowl meat was okay, but it had more
it was just a small amount.
Though. Yeah, and it had more of I don't know if you've ever had, I guess, frog legs or kind of a chicken, but it didn't really taste. It was like chicken, but it didn't taste like chicken. Yeah. It was just different. It was almost like a fish cross with a chicken or something, or something like that. That's the texture it was. How you get white meat fish, but then it was
a little tougher.
Chicken. Yeah, a little tougher, a little denser, like chicken, like poultry. But I mean, it was good.
But I mean, the thing with the alligators, they don't have a lot of marbling, or this one,
Well, they're not. It's not. Yeah, it's not that kind of meat. I don't think. I would imagine if you're going to cook rattlesnake or something like that, that's about what it would be like, that texture,
You think they'd get upset if we...
It's got to be closer to the... they say, some people say birds have evolved from dinosaurs, so if you can imagine why it tastes like poultry or has that, you can see that.
Yeah.
Lizards or reptilians kind of, and birds
kind
of being the same close family of texture of meat.
Yeah.
So that's the best way to describe it, really.
They're really going to get upset when you cook that iguana next year.
Yeah. I need to get me an iguana and cook it for real. Big old iguana.
What were you calling it the other day? Chicken of the tree?
Chicken of the tree, yeah. That's what I've heard that. I've heard people call it that before.
But, I mean, people have grown up cooking gators,
Yeah,
that's
it's a thing. Oh, it's other countries.
It's a culinary thing.
So just because I hadn't cooked them, I mean, there's people all over the world that cook them. I saw people commenting that they eat crocodile in South Africa, and they've had it in Dubai. They eat it in Australia.
Yeah.
They eat caimans down in South America. I mean, it's a common food source. It really is. It's not. I mean, they wouldn't farm raise these things and sell them if they didn't do them a lot. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
I would say in the United States, most of your gator, you're going to either see it fried some kind of way, or you're going to see it in a sausage or something like that.
Yes.
But you're not. I mean, I've never seen whole gator served. I mean, you see pictures of it on the internet and things doing it. And Craig's kind of brought it a little more, into the mainstream, people seeing it.
I agree.
And I thought I'm down to learn anything, and so to get a chance to do that was cool.
I thought it was really cool.
It turned out great,
and that's the thing about it.
I wasn't cooking it in my pit.
See, well, okay, why didn't you use Jolene?
She
has a no lizard.
No lizard. Yeah, what do you say? No lizard policy.
She's a picky little.
Yeah. No, she just got common sense. Would you let me cook it in the oven? And just to slid that rack right in the oven and let's put that gator in the oven and cook. Now there's a video. Gator in the oven.
I didn't think. I usually don't get a choice in those kind of things. I walk in and it's being done.
Big gator in there. I don't know. Maybe I can find me a nutria rat to cook. Some people, I did see a comment that said it's a lot like gar fish, like gar. And we got a ton of gar.
Nutria?
Around. No,
gator.
Gator, yeah. I've never ate gar either.
Yeah, me either.
And I wouldn't cook one of them on my pits either. I always heard the way you cook gar, you get you a piece of board about like a 2x4 or something, as long as the fish.
Yep.
And you take that gar and you put a nail through his head, nail him to the board. You strip all the skin. That's the hardest part, skinning a gar, because they're outside of it's almost like a leather, like a gator. It's tough skin. And then you season it all up with all your favorite seasons and put lemons on it and all that. And you put it in a pit and you smoke it. It's kind of like cedar plank, but it's on like a untreated piece of 2x4 wood. You cook it, I don't know, it's 4 or 5 hours, something like that, till it's about falling apart. And then you take that gar and you rake it all off in the trash and eat the board. That's what I've always heard. I don't know. So it tells you how good it is.
I was sitting here thinking.
That's how you use. I just think I was telling you how to cook gar. No, that's what.
You're saying it ain't good.
Yeah, I'm saying it ain't good. I don't know, but I would do it again. I mean, I'd do it again. I wouldn't go out of my way to serve them. If I was wanting to have something cool.
What if you were doing a Florida tailgate?
That's what I was fixing to say. If home is or somebody was playing the Gators. And then you were doing a tailgate. Heck yeah, barbecue, smoke you a gator, and set it out there, and then show all them Gator fans. We got you. That's a great way to do it.
And then serve hot dogs.
Yeah, and then serve sausage and shrimp and corn and taters and eat the chicken out of his mouth and all that good stuff.
A lot of people wanted your recipe on that. You called it a low country steam.
Yeah, low country steamer.
Yeah.
I needed, I was thinking of, the first time I ever done all that on the grill like that. But I was like, it worked. I know you can make a full packet and do it with shrimp and the potatoes and all that. So why can't I just start the potatoes out in the pan? So all I did was I took a large aluminum pan, fired up the Traeger. It was like running it, 300 degrees, something like that. It wasn't super hot. Washed the potatoes, tossed them with a little olive oil and seasoning, and put them in the pan and let them get about, 30, 45 minute head start. And then we added the sausage, just chunked up smoked sausage, shrimp, corn, seasoned it all with a little king crawl, added some butter to it.
Yep.
And then put it in there and let it go 10 or 15 minutes. And then
covered. Yeah,
all covered up. And then I just checked it. And when that steam built up, the shrimp cooked and the corn was ready. The potatoes were fork tender. And that was it. It was so
really
simple.
good.
It was really, that's an easy one. And it looked cool to garnish it with that. Now, the whole chicken, I knew Craig wanted to be a showman and, and
I love the idea.
So I was like, let's prop that gator's mouth open and I'll just throw a chicken on the grill. So we just, I don't know, Mark seasoned it up.
Yeah.
Mark was over there with us helping that day. And I think he just put some swine life on it. I said,
Probably.
man, yeah, just AP and swine life.
The one thing I wish we would have done different is y'all put the chicken in his mouth before you glazed and bruleed it. So it's all kind of the same color and it looked good. But I think if you'd have glazed and bruleed the crocodile and then put the chicken in there, the difference in color would have showed.
Pop more. Yeah. We could have worked on that. I didn't think it looked as good. So Craig wanted to put it up on the counter and Cajun brulee it with that flamethrower. And I was like, I don't know about running that flamethrower on my counter up there. I got to do some more video. Now, if we was going to burn the house down, heck yeah, let's do it. But I was like, I got a full sheet pan. Let's just set him on that.
No, it worked perfect.
I said I had a little stool there, so we had the Gator on one of those old hickory wing racks, and it worked great for moving the Gator on and off the grill and stuff. Because originally he was like, let's just put it on the grill, and I was like, man, how are we gonna get it off? I was like, you gotta, you're gonna have to wrestle it off, and it might fall apart and all that. You might mess the stuffing up, and so I was like,
no, the wing rack worked out perfect. Right.
And so we just set a pan upside down. I probably should have flipped that pan over. I was thinking it'd be more sturdy flipped, but hindsight, I would have flipped it over because it wouldn't have made such a mess on the ground. And then we sauced it with just 50-50 sauce. And then it was out in the open on that stool. So I was like, well, we're probably not going to burn nothing up here. I'll just get out of the way. and then he went, and it worked great. It worked great. Then we could easily pick it up.
And I don't think it would have caused any problems on the counter, really, now that we saw it, you know.
It might. I don't know. I didn't want my counter burn up. And he would have been way up high, you know.
Yeah, that's true. No, I think it was really, for me to get the right camera angle and stuff.
Worked out part.
It did.
And I could get way away. No, it was good. Craig knows what he's doing. If you don't try that if you hadn't, you know. I don't know if there's a way to go flamethrower training or not. But maybe, you know, that's just one I say, don't try this at home, you know. Use under adult supervision at least. Don't try it at home. I didn't tell you to do it. That's all I'm trying to say.
And Craig said he's cooked over 30 alligators.
Yeah.
So he's got it down, you know.
And he does all the wings with the flamethrowers. Mm-hmm. I mean, I run a weed burner with the best of them, but I just ain't fixing to.
You used to use them to
that was what I used.
Fires.
Yeah, I would stick it in the grill. You know, that was how I lit the hog cooker. I'd use it to light chimneys. You can get a chimney going just a few seconds with it. I mean, it ain't not that it's totally safe. I don't know. You got to watch your propane bottles, make sure they're not leaking, because it could blow up and hurt you. But propane's dangerous.
What'd you think about the Outlaw?
Awesome, man. We used. I want to say that thing 4.5 hours. We may have put at the most 4 sticks on it, and that's all the charcoal I put. It was probably
ran steady.
Never moved.
Yeah.
Flavor was phenomenal. Had you could taste the smoke. It did. I mean, I hadn't cooked on it again.
I knew that.
Yeah, I'm telling you. You go on count on it.
Are you gonna name this pit? Give this pit a name.
Probably.
Since it's a stick burner.
Probably.
Do you have all names for all the pits?
I'm probably. What if I got 2 of them? Tell you a good name. Oh no, I got a new one. Poncho.
Poncho, because he's an outlaw.
Yeah, heck yeah, that's a good one. I just named my pit. Jay Craig, if you're listening, I need me a Outlaw Smoker patio. His name's going to be Poncho.
It was a really good sign.
It's my favorite Mexican restaurant. Growing up, it's the first one I ever went to. I bet you don't remember the very first Mexican restaurant you ever went to, do you? I love Mexican style cooking.
Yeah, because I was like 20 the first Mexican.
Oh, really? Dang. No, I'm talking Poncho's, the inventor of the Poncho's cheese dip. Yeah. It's now world famous.
I know exactly. You've taken me before.
It's so fun. The Poncho special is one of the best dishes ever created.
I'm going to hold my opinion.
The one I grew up eating at was in West Memphis, Arkansas. It was like this cavernous, dark candles on everything. I don't know if it was the original or if the one out on Summer Avenue was the original. There used to be several of them in Memphis. But this one was the one I remember. It was just across the bridge in West Memphis. I forget the street, Broadway or something like that. So it's still there, still in operation. It's not as good as it was when I was a kid, but it was this dark
it was not
kind of I don't know. I thought it was an authentic Mexican building when I was a kid because I didn't, there wasn't even. I don't even remember Taco Bell as a kid. I mean, there was Taco Bell, but it was probably new when I was a kid. I don't know how long it's been going on, but when in West Memphis, I don't remember. But we would go to Poncho's usually on Friday or Saturday night, and you would go into this place, and the opening was kind of arched, and it had all this iron entryway, and they had it done up with like authentic Mexican decor, and you went in. I don't know if there was any Spanish-speaking people that even worked there. I don't know because it was. I don't know the story of it. This is just me remembering as a kid, and they would sit you down. There was like all these tables down the middle that was more for your family style, bigger. And all these sides were like booths, and they had all the arches, and it was dark in there with candles, and then it hit you with the cheese dip and the salsa as soon as you sit down. Everybody, and it was like
you thought it was the greatest place on earth.
It was all you could eat cheese dip. I mean, as a kid, who would not like that? And I don't care what you say. The second basket of chips you got was always the best because it was warm and hot, and that's what my mom and dad, I remember saying, the second batch of chips is going to be the best. And then you get a Poncho special, which was like a cheese enchilada with this. It was like their sauce wasn't just like a typical red enchilada sauce. It was like I guess it was bean and enchilada sauce, and it had onions and stuff in it, and covered in cheese, and then of course a taco, and then it had a tostada, and then it had the Poncho's green dressing on the little lettuce and tomato salad. Oh man. They're so good.
And then you took me
and tried to build it up, and I hyped it up too much. And
no, it was terrible.
You hated
I think it has changed
something's
hands.
wrong with you. I don't know anybody that's been around the Memphis area.
It has changed hands
for over
gone downhill.
I would say over 35 years, probably has been to Poncho's and will test you that Poncho's is the best. Whether it is now, that's debatable because we have so many options now with more authentic than they told me that was authentic Mexican restaurant when I was a kid. That's what but.
So your birthday was this past weekend.
Oh man. I went to my
Happy
favorite.
late birthday.
I went to La Siesta, my favorite Mexican restaurant.
Do you feel older?
I feel pretty good. I ain't gonna say. No. I don't feel any different than I did last week. Well, if you'd have asked me that Saturday morning, after I saw, I got my numbers confused. Instead of a 4-5, I thought it said 2-1, and I ended up watching the sun come up Saturday morning, and that was actually my birthday.
Yeah. Well, that was good.
And I paid for it for a couple of days.
Yeah.
Then I really felt old.
But now you've recovered.
But now I've recovered. My buddy Pickle, he told me he was in critical condition. I checked on him Sunday. It was 2 days later. He was still in critical condition.
You can't do it.
I'm feeling much better. No. So I'm taking a hiatus for a while. No margaritas for a minute.
Do you think you've become a better cook as you've gotten older?
Oh,
as you've aged?
Yeah, I think you learn. I think you learn as you go. It's one of my things. I always try to get better and learn new stuff. So yeah, I've got more in my repertoire.
Yeah.
I can,
I
can create stuff instead of having to, just. I love experimenting and coming up with my own new stuff, and I feel confident that I kind of know how to start and do stuff. And yeah, I think I'm much better than I used to be.
Me too. I think I'm much better too. I think you are too. I mean, I always thought you were good, but
definitely.
You continue to get better. But that comes from doing, and we cook constantly.
Getting long in the tooth. That's what it comes with. Maybe if I can go 40 more years, I'll be real good.
Yeah.
If I still have teeth.
Hey. Thinking back to when you were 20, what did you do for your 20th birthday? Do you remember?
My 20th?
Yeah.
I don't remember 20. I remember 21.
Well, okay, what was 21?
Where did we go? I remember I had a cake with a Miller Lite can in it. Somebody just stuck one out, like a store-bought cake.
And then just stuck a Miller Lite can?
Jammed it off in there. It was probably in Senatobia, living in an apartment.
You were in college, obviously.
Working at casinos, still in. Yeah, I don't know if I was in college then or not. Just living down there in an apartment. It was. I did a tour there though. I'm pretty sure that's where I was. I don't remember. I know it was the casinos.
Did y'all go somewhere? You went to casinos?
Yeah, casinos. That was a long weekend at the casinos celebrating 21. It really was. There might have been a trip to Platinum in there somewhere. There.
If you're from Memphis,
fuzzy.
If you're from Memphis, you know what Platinum is.
Oh, excuse me. I didn't mean to kick the table.
When you and I
telling on myself now.
When you and I first started dating, it was right before your 28th birthday.
Yeah, we went to New Orleans.
Yeah,
for that one.
We went to New Orleans.
That was one of my best ones.
Yeah. Why?
First birthday I spent with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything went uphill from there.
We rented that van from Vans to Go, Daryl. He still calls Waylon, I think. Need to get some money on that windshield.
What?
There used to be this guy. We rented his van. He turned 28. Rented his van, go to New Orleans. Take everybody. We needed a big long. It was like one of them church vans.
Yeah, Waylon drove.
Got Vans to Go. Waylon drove, and we parked. We stayed at some nice hotel down in the quarter.
It was.
And the weather kind of changed then because it either was hot when we went or it was cool when we went. I forget what it was, but the windshield had a little crack in it. So by the time we didn't drive the van, we drove it there, got out, gave it to valet, got back in, struggled to get back in. We were only there for 3 days. It was wild. And then we got back in. By the time we get back home, there's this big crack, like the crack had grown. And I don't know if it's from running the defroster or the weather changing or whatever. No, it wasn't the weather change. It was in August. It couldn't have been that. I don't know what it was. But anyway, it had a crack on it. So we took it back and we dropped it off. That day, nobody was at Vans to Go. We told Daryl we were dropping it off. It was way out in Memphis somewhere. And so he called. I think he called Waylon for years, telling him he was going to have to pay for that windshield. Waylon's like, look, Daryl, that window had a crack in it. It just expanded. And he would just leave voicemails. Waylon, this is Daryl from Vans to Go. I needed you to put something on that windshield. And this just went on. And I was like, man, you ever going to pay Daryl? I don't know what happened to it. I don't know if Waylon ever settled up with Daryl or what. But that was a good.
If it ever is.
No, but we had a good trip. Waylon Drake, you remember that trip? This is the craziest thing about that trip. And I still got pictures of Waylon somewhere. But there was this.
Waylon doesn't drink.
He never drinks, but he was at Pat O's at the piano bar, and we lost him. I mean, I don't know. Him and my buddy Griff was there, and we were off doing probably 3 for $1 somewhere or something crazy. And we come back, and Griff finally tracks us down. I mean, I know we all had cell phones back then,
I don't remember having a cell phone back then. I don't know.
But anyway. But he tracks us back down, and Waylon's done drank 16 Bloody Marys. And he shows up with this big, huge, cigar. I don't know where he bought it from somewhere. He's got on somebody else's sunglasses, 16 Bloody Marys deep. And we go to 3 for $1s. And then first thing he does is gives 3 Coronas. And he's got them all knuckled in one hand, big cigar. And he's going up on stage because at Razoo's, they let you go up there and lip sync or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's karaoke.
Yeah, and I was like, man, he's having a better time than I am on my 28th birthday.
He didn't.
And that next day.
It didn't take too long.
Oh, no. He went down for the count, and it was ugly. I think, and I guess him and Griff were splitting the room that time or whatever, and he said he was just in the bathroom just giving it all.
You get all them Bloody Marys. Oh,
can you imagine 13 or 16?
It was something like that, yeah.
Crazy. I had a blast.
The most Bloody Marys I've ever seen anybody drink at one time.
He set the record.
That's one of those things. You drink one of them and then you're
done. Yeah. Let's start the day out. Maybe 1, maybe 2. If you're feeling it, you drink 2 Bloody Marys.
I bet he won't have another Bloody Mary.
He still likes them.
He does.
Yeah, it's not like it's not his.
He didn't ruin it.
Yeah, he didn't ruin it. But that trip was full of hand grenades and fish bowls and 3 for $1. Man, that was a heck of a.
It's a good one. So looking back at 2021,
yeah,
did you expect to be a barbecue man?
No. I did not.
we're looking back.
We did barbecue for fun back then.
Yeah.
It was what we wanted to do to get everybody together. It was like a big tailgate. I mean, we weren't serious about competition. I wasn't even. I remember a time in my life, and this is crazy. I told Waylon, it was right at the time where we were wanting to get serious, and we had been winning a little bit, and.
But y'all were still backyard.
Yeah, and Waylon, he's not a drinker at all. I mean, he's just not. So he didn't like the party. He just wanted to come out and cook ribs at the contest day. He was the early morning guy that would show up. We would stay up, run everybody off, maybe start attempting to clean up the mess or whatever, stumble out, go get a few hours sleep. Waylon would tag us out, and he would get all the meat going. And at that point, we had, I guess it was a contest. I don't know. We probably had a little bit too much fun. He got to arguing. I was like, Waylon, if I can't have a big party like this every time we barbecue, I'm not even going to do it, And so that's where I just put my foot down. To me, it didn't take me. Now that was my younger.
Yeah.
It didn't take me too many more years to say, no, let's.
All of a sudden, you got.
Let's cut this out. Yeah. Oh yeah. No. Yeah. That changes you big time. when you can't go on spring break storm. Oh man, no! I had to get serious, and that's what happened. And we lost a lot of our team members, and we didn't lose them as buddies or anything, but they didn't want to come hang out with us at barbecues no more because we weren't having. It wasn't all you could drink.
We all went professional.
All you could eat. We cared about our image and what we were doing, and we were really trying to cook better, and we still like to have a good time. But there's, it just got a little more serious. Yeah, and then that's about the time we started seeing that. There was something to it that I could, I was going to be.
You started thinking maybe I could make a career out of this.
Yeah, that this is going to be my job, and I can't just do all that.
Yeah.
I still like to. I mean, what's that song? I'm not as good as once.
I'm not as good as I used to be, but I'm as good once as I ever was.
Yeah, I still got that in me. I proved it the other day. Still got that in me.
It took you 2 weeks to get better, but
no, 1 week. It's been 1 week.
1 week to recover.
I'm not. Yeah, there's nothing going in me this weekend. I'm drinking water and. Eating my Nutri-System.
Well, so at 2021, what did you expect your life to look like at 45?
I probably figured I wouldn't be. I don't know.
You weren't thinking that.
I thought everyone passed. What year was it? I said, when did Jim Morrison go?
28.
All those guys made. I said, if I make it 29, I'm going to borrow. I mean, that's bonus time.
But that's about the time you made
I thought I was a rock star, man.
You did.
Yeah. You changed my life.
That's very true.
Yeah.
All those statements.
That's true.
Okay. Well, happy birthday.
Well, thanks. I just got to get 45 more now. I'll be happy. Then I'll be on bonus time.
Yeah.
If I can get to 90.
Dang, that's so old.
It is old. It seems so long, such a long time away.
So Sunday, you were testing out a new poultry brine recipe.
I did. I'm working on poultry brine, and we just cooked some chickens, and that's what we've been having, like, all week with our dinner. We cooked 2 whole chickens. I soaked them in
like
brine.
meal prep.
Yeah, definitely. But we don't like put them all in little packages and have them ready.
No. We just smoked some chicken and pulled it apart.
Pulled it apart, yeah. But man, it's such a good way to have some good protein for the week that's good.
Yeah.
We cooked them on Sunday. I got up that morning, brined them for like till noon, threw them on the smoker. They didn't cook but about an hour and a half. It wasn't long.
No, you brined them longer than that. We didn't put them on the smoker till 3 or 4.
Oh, so we brined most of the day. That's
because we had them for dinner that night, and then
pulled them apart. It's 2 big chickens we got. Sam's, actually, they had the double pack. We went through Sam's and got them, and they were fantastic. I had the rest chopped up on a salad last night, and that's what I've been doing with it all week. I just make me a little salad or some chicken in there, and it's been great all week.
How easy is it?
Simple. I mean,
you always tell everybody if you want to start out with some chickens.
Yeah, that's the first. If you want to learn how to cook something on a new smoker, get you some whole chickens because you can get them for $5 or $6.
Yeah,
you can play around. They're neutral. Chicken's so neutral. You can play with any kind of seasoning, any kind of sauce on it. We did one that was just like AP. That was all we put on it, and then we did one that was kind of spicy Greek seasoning.
Yeah,
and that was because I wanted kind of a Mediterranean flair, but I wanted to have a little spice. So
and it was good.
It was real good. It was real good. Both of them were. The brine it's going to be a great turkey brine. I mean, it had a lot of flavor in it. It's a standard.
Do you feel that a brine really makes a difference in smoking whole
chickens?
If
you got time, yeah. If you got the time to soak them, it does. And I wouldn't be scared to soak one for 24 hours.
Yeah,
and it would be
definitely
better. But that chicken was so juicy, you couldn't. I mean, it was packed full of moisture. Even at the end of the week, it was good. It was really good. But you cook them we put it on the pit. We was running about 325. Sprayed it. So the trick is to doing whole chickens, and this is what's going to make them good for you, is to when you get them thawed, completely thawed out of the brine, you soak them, but you got to get all that moisture off of them. So what I do is they say you're not supposed to rinse off chicken when you get it. When it comes out of the brine, I rinse it off because it's got some herbs in it, it's got some peppercorns, things like that. I don't want it all stuck to the. And I want to, if it's in the cavity, it's okay. But if it's on the outside, I want to get it off. So I just gave it a quick rinse in the sink. Just wipe your sink back down with some disinfectant. And just be cautious of the contamination. But then I put it over on a rack and spread it out. The whole chicken, the legs kind of moved.
Yeah, like a big
wings.
pork rack.
Yeah. And then I got paper towel and cram the cavity full, get all the moisture out, and get the skin as dry as possible with paper towels. And if you have time, you can even take the rack over a shallow like baking sheet and put it back in the refrigerator and let it air dry. That's even better.
Yeah.
Because the refrigerator will dry it out and it'll take, a couple hours and it'll be good to go.
Oh yeah.
But just paper towel will get it too.
Make that skin good.
This is what makes the skin so good, getting that moisture off of it. But then you need something to help brown it up. And that's where oil comes in. So once you get all that liquid watery moisture off, you want to get it back. It's getting wet again, but it's getting wet with oil. So that oil is going to do 2 things. It's going to help your seasoning stick, and it's going to cause that skin to brown up and get crispier. And people want to talk about how do you get good skin on chicken? Well, that oil really helps. And I think that's what helps getting it tender and getting it bite through and getting it a good texture. And when we're doing comp chicken, is the butter's a fat, it's oil.
Yeah.
And it's cooking in that, and that's really what does it. So it does the same thing to a whole chicken. Then you can season it however you want. If you want to go barbecue, do that. If you want to go herby, spicy, jerk, you can do any kind of flavors with chicken like that. Then you just put it on that pit at 325 and put you a probe in it. When it's 165 in the breast, it usually takes, for a 4 to 5 pound chicken, you're usually looking at about an hour and a half, hour 45.
Probably less than that.
Yeah, it depends on how hot. I mean, you can run it at 350, you can run it at 400, but at 325 is what I'd recommend. I would say an hour and a half, you're going to be there.
Yeah.
And then
keep an eye on it.
Keep an eye on it. I tuck the wings back where it looks like he's laid back, so the tips don't burn up.
So
you can tie the legs up if you want to. I didn't these.
You did one on a rack.
Oh, I did it on a beer. Yeah, I forgot about that.
You did one on a beer can rack and one.
But I didn't put a beer in it. I just used the rack to stand him up, and they cook exact same. Both of them were done at the same time. I couldn't tell a bit of difference in one laying on its back or on the rack. The only thing is, there's some really good meat on chicken back. A lot of people may not know this, but I always pick the back. And right in that little socket, it's kind of like the little backstrap area. There's 2 little sockets above the leg quarters. And those they call it the oyster meat of a thigh a lot of times. Sometimes your thighs will be trimmed out. Sometimes it's gone. But that's what it is. It's that oyster meat. It's like two little thumbprint sockets on the back of a chicken's back. And that piece is some of the best meat on a chicken.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of more good meat on that back. And so if you cook it on its back, the skin gets messed up and that meat can it can kind of overcook or whatever.
Yeah.
But if cooking vertical, it all cooks just as good as the front. So it's really, if you like that back meat, vertical is a good way to go. Yeah. You can hang those chickens in a drum or something if you wanted to. But it's super simple. And I highly suggest, if you're trying to eat a little better, chicken's a great way to go because you can use it with a lot of different things and it'd be a healthy choice.
Yeah, and you
don't have to put all the sweet sauce and use a lot of sugar in it.
No,
you can
see,
back
like you
the
said,
salt up some.
That.
I do think it needs some salt.
Chicken definitely needs salt.
It's kind of bland, but
So I came up with a list of your recipes that you used a whole smoked chicken for.
A whole list?
Well, it's a list.
Yeah. How many is there?
6-ish.
Oh, that's not. I figured I'd have more than that. You want to tell me my favorite?
Okay.
Just because I'm thinking ahead of this football food coming up.
Okay, tell me if it's what I was going to say the first
Buffalo chicken dip.
Yep.
Here's the whole chicken.
If you've ever made buffalo chicken dip, which everybody has, everybody knows that recipe.
If you don't, you are behind the times.
Yeah.
It's almost as good as
do the recipe. The recipe calls for canned chicken, and it'll work in a pinch. But if you smoke your own chicken.
Watery canned chicken.
I know, it's not
Whoever
that good.
thought that up was a dead moron.
And when we're in a pinch, we'll buy a rotisserie chicken at Sam's or Kroger and pull it ourselves.
I'm going to go one step better than that. Some of the best I've ever made, fried chicken.
That's
true. Bought 8 pieces of fried chicken, picked it all apart, left the crunch and crunchy, and made this dip with it. Oh, man, it's good.
It was good. Oh, we might do that.
So good. Oh, we're not doing that. A dip is not on my diet. Not yet.
I'm talking about for the fantasy football.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to splurge next week because it is fantasy football draft day.
So we did a smoked chicken enchiladas. That's something you did recently.
Oh, those were fantastic. Yeah.
So the thing is, you can go ahead and, like we did Sunday afternoon, smoke a couple whole chickens, pull them, put them up, use them all week for all kinds of things.
Yeah.
Like you said, put them on salad.
What else is on there?
You did a spicy chicken slider. You spiced up the white sauce and pickled onions. Do you remember that one?
Pulled chicken.
Yes.
Pulled chicken. I call it pulled. All it is regular whole chicken.
It was barbecue style pulled whole chicken.
And if you're not serving pulled chicken, you need to do that. Because you serve pulled pork for your non-pork eaters, have some pulled chicken, man, it'll go.
Put some white sauce with it.
Yep.
When we used to do a lot of catering, we would also do, we'd do pulled pork with slider buns, but then we do pulled chicken with a pineapple barbecue type sauce, kind of like a
chop.
And we would have those same kind of flavors going with the pulled chicken, and people loved it.
Yep.
You did a smoked chicken sandwich with a blue cheese slaw. Do you remember that one?
Was that pulled? Did I pull that meat too? Yeah. The blue cheese slaw was good. I used that purple radicchio and it's like shredded purple cabbage or whatever and made that slaw with the real blue cheese crumbles in it. It was good.
It went really well with the pulled chicken.
With the chicken, yep.
Smoked chicken salad. We don't have that recipe online though.
I do that all the time. Oh, I was fixing. Did you get my pizza? Is it on there?
No, it's not.
God, that's a good one, man. It's my take on the hot chick. I don't think we have
that recipe on the.
Surely I do, don't I? Man, it's good. But the white sauce is the pizza sauce and the chicken and the onions and the cheese.
So tell me how you do your. So what do you call this? Spicy chicken.
It's just it's kind of a spicy chicken pizza.
Spicy smoked chicken pizza.
Yeah, have I not done that recipe?
No.
I cook it all the time. I don't. When I cook pizza, that's one of my pizzas I do. I have to go back and look at that.
I don't have internet. I can't pull it up.
Oh yeah, man. If I don't have that, that's got to be coming.
We haven't done a pizza recipe in a while.
Yeah, I need to add that to the list.
Yep.
That's a great one, and people would, that's if y'all like making homemade pizza, you ain't smoking a chicken and using it with the white sauce.
You have used the white sauce for your
I use it for seafood pizza. Yeah.
But you haven't used the white sauce.
I could have swore I did. I had to go back and look at that.
We'll have to check because
I did it with like purple onions and stuff. I don't know. I need to go look because that's one I got to do. Chicken bacon ranch pizza, man, that's a good one too.
Smoked chicken salad, just like you put it on.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like full blown chicken salad.
Oh, I was talking about that. Yeah. But also you can make a salad with chicken.
Your extra smoked chicken. I mean, you can do all kinds of stuff. I mean, the sky's the limit what you could do.
Yeah. Are you ready for the fantasy football draft?
It's coming up Saturday. I'm excited. And that's what I want to talk about today. That's the only notes I brought to this party, baby. I brought my football food that I'm going to serve for my fantasy football
Well, I didn't want to
draft.
talk about it too much today because we'll talk about it next week.
Yeah. Well,
your fantasy football party is next Saturday.
Oh, so we're not going to go.
Saturday.
Yeah. We're just going to touch on what I'm doing then.
Yes. And then we'll go into detail.
We're going to take some
week.
Instagram stuff of this and put it out there.
Definitely. I'm going to try to do a video. I got an idea.
A contest one of these days where the winner gets to attend the draft and maybe they get to call out the picks. Because I'm looking for somebody to volunteer for us to turn. We don't have anybody do this, and I'm just trying to make my draft better. I need a Roger Goodell. I need a commissioner.
We got a commissioner, David Roos.
Yeah, but he's a playing commissioner.
Yes, okay.
I don't want to have to give him my ticket and then him announce my pick.
Yeah.
You know,
He's working on his own draft.
I want somebody that's gonna, kind of an MC, and they're gonna be my.
Gotcha. You need an MC.
Yeah, we're gonna turn our picks in. They're gonna announce them to everybody. I'm trying to make it an event.
You also had the idea of hiring some Hooters waitresses.
If anybody knows any Hooters waitresses that would like to come to a draft party, make a little money that day, serving drinks and maybe keeping the food fresh. I don't know. I don't know.
Do they have to wear their
Would
Hooters
you have a problem with
waitresses?
that? You wouldn't have a problem with that. It's not. You're there. You're there. It ain't like we're lewd or anything. No different than going to Hooters and having your draft. I would just, I'm trying to make my buddies have a good time.
I don't have a problem with it.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
I don't think it's bad. But
they do have to wear pantyhose with their shorts.
Yeah,
I always
the whole
thought
thing.
that was. Oh, okay.
I don't know. I mean,
I always thought
I
that was
understand
so
that. Maybe they got varicose veins or something.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Maybe they've been ate up by chiggers or mosquitoes or something.
It's just very dated.
Yeah.
That's my whole problem with the whole thing. It's their outfits are dated. So what do you
I wonder
say?
why pantyhose come in those egg things. They still do that.
I don't know.
You know what I'm talking about?
I
It's
know
like
exactly
an Easter egg looking
yes.
thing.
I don't know anybody that wears pantyhose.
Yeah.
It's kind of a old lady thing.
So our fantasy football league is called Ribs and Whiskey. So y'all already know what's on the menu. There's always going to be some ribs. I'm doing some ribs, probably the Malcom style.
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah.
What style?
And then I'm going to have some whiskey. I'm definitely going to have Jack Daniels is the staple.
Yeah.
I'll probably have some Eagle Rare and probably have some Woodford, something like that. Some things that go with it, Cokes, Sprites, ginger ales, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm an ice
Pineapple.
man.
Ice, yeah.
And then I'm going to do some other stuff too, though. I'm going to do some beef. I'm probably going to do tri-tip or something like that. I really want to serve it with that, that creamy horseradish sauce.
Yeah.
I thought about having a chimichurri if I do tri-tip because that's kind of goes with it. But I love that horseradish, creamy horseradish. And then, the Jerkmon burgers. I hadn't really served those to anybody, but I'm thinking about using the little pork tenderloins and using the same Calypso sauce I did up.
Glazing the pork tenderloins with that jerk sauce.
Making the jerk sauce, glazing
instead
the
of glazing
sauce,
the burger.
the Calypso, and then
making little sliders.
The pineapple, the pineapple slaw or pineapple relish.
Yeah,
all that.
I love that
with
idea.
pork. I think it'd be great with pork.
Well, that turns it into food you can serve to a bunch of people.
Yeah.
And because it's hard to serve burgers to
That's what
a
I was
group.
saying. I'm not going to do burger sliders, but it's going to be with pork. And so think of little pork tenderloin sliders.
Well, we've done jerk pork sliders before, but they didn't have the Calypso sauce and that relish, and they didn't have those elements.
So I think that'll be good. So I've got ribs, I got beef some sort, I got those jerk sliders or whatever.
Yep.
And then I thought we would do the spicy meatballs, the mustard
meatballs.
Yeah, and the secret to that,
they're
Carolina Gold, Cattleman's. They're so good and easy. You got frozen meatballs. You put them in a pan on the grill, warm them up a little bit, cover them in that Cattleman's Honey Gold, and people put them in a crock pot and serve them. And people think they go crazy.
Yes.
What'd you do to those meatballs?
I remember.
Man, you ain't gonna believe it. Took me forever to get that blend right. I had so much veal in it. So
I remember when Andy came over.
Had to toast the bread.
Andy came over and ate one for some event or party. He got one out of the crock pot and tasted it. And he goes, "That ain't just one of those regular old frozen meatballs. I can tell you that." And you went, "Actually."
You're right. That's the Italian ones.
Actually, it is
Italian meatballs.
But people love those meatballs. That'd be a good recipe.
Yeah, it's that would be a good little football appetizer when I do my football food videos.
I serve it a lot of times at Christmas too.
It goes anytime. It's not just football, but it's a great because people come by and toothpick it, and it's so simple. Got to have
dips.
I want you to do I think it was Super Bowl last year. You made this big. We had this football serving tray. It's like a pewter, and you made this cheese ball kind of dip that looked like a football.
Yes, it was my jalapeno ranch.
Yes,
football.
And
instead of a cheese ball,
it was covered in bacon with the little cheese for the
the
laces. Yeah.
And you serve it with crackers.
I wrote that down.
It's very good. It has fresh jalapenos in it and pickled jalapenos, so you get both.
It's kind of like a pimento cheese almost without pimentos, right?
Yeah, I mean it's a cheese ball.
Yeah, with bacon all over it.
With bacon and ranch and cream cheese and cheddar cheese and 2 types of jalapenos covered in bacon, shaped into the shape of a football.
That's going down.
Yeah.
And then I got to have some Rotel.
Yep. I was going to make a pizza dip too.
Yeah, I like that. That's the one we can do a cast iron or something.
Yeah.
And it's
a hot dip.
A hot dip.
You need a hot dip and a cold dip.
Okay.
And a charcuterie board.
We're doing a meat board?
Yeah.
This is going to be all out. I'm not holding back. I'm excited. I got to get me a commissioner that can do the announcing. I got to get me the Hooters girls. I need a beer sponsorship. I got the whiskey covered. Bring my own personal whiskey.
What other kind of
It's going to be a football. It's going to be my family.
We need DraftKings.
It's going to be awesome. I need to just,
some side bets.
We need to record it. Just have it live.
We need some midget wrestling.
No, I can't record it. There'd be too many. It's not something you put out live. Nobody has the. You know how you got to have the radio where you can do the 6-second thing? Yeah. We'd have to have somebody produce. No, we can't do that. We might record it and put it out later. What if you could do a video? I don't know how hard it'd be with sound.
I want to do a video this time of like just the prep.
It's like you need to hire somebody to do that because it's during the thing. It's like we're not thinking about. We're just having.
We're trying to get it we're trying to get.
I'd like it
everything done and out.
If somebody could record it without us knowing. It'd be so funny. It would be hilarious.
And then edit it.
The guys would not show up, and everybody be like, "We're not recording nothing. No cameras allowed. No cameras, no cell phones." We go. I need to get one of those things like they do when we went to Dave Chappelle concert. Where you got to put your thing in the little bag.
Oh yeah, you drop it in there.
Yeah.
You drop your cell phone in the
Yeah.
You can't come in unless you drop your cell phone in this
box
bag
or whatever. Yeah. Well, hey, I'm excited. I got to go to the store. I got 1 week. It's gonna take me.
I think you get more excited about throwing the party.
Oh yeah, I got first. I got first pick. I need to bring in. Okay, man. Maybe for next week, so I can bring in Justin or somebody. We can talk about what's going to happen at the fantasy football thing, and then
what happened, or what either before or after.
Yeah,
one of the two. Definitely get him on board.
Yeah, I'm down.
We need somebody else up in here.
Well, what else you got? I done got riled up. It's Saturday.
I know, Saturday.
Yay.
I'm good. We're fixing to break this podcast room down, take it to the new place. The next podcast you will see will probably be in the new location if everything goes right.
Let's hope we don't screw something up unplugging it. No, we'll see y'all next week. Thanks for watching, hanging out with us. Shell, where can they find us?
If you'd like to connect with Malcolm, it's HowToBBQRight on Facebook, Instagram. We don't really Twitter and YouTube. If you'd like to connect with me, it's Miss Southern Shell on Instagram.
I may start me a TikTok up. Do some little dancing things.
You're a good dancer. People might not. You are. You've always been a great dancer.
Thank you, baby. We'll see y'all next time.